my childhood faith background was pretty non-existent. I did, with my parents, as soon as they got married, they broke away from the LDS church. And that divide kind of furthered the moment they got divorced 7 years later. But I did have extended family members, grandmas, grandpas, aunts and uncles and cousins who were a part of the LDS faith. So it was always kind of there to influence me. And it was I definitely credit the LDS church for kind of setting that background, the foundation to help start my journey in faith. It was a long journey, but that's what I credit, and that was kind of my background growing up. Being influenced with the LDS church, I always knew the presence and the existence of God and how He played a role in my life. I just never knew the depths of that. So it was always, for 30 years, it was always on the back of my mind, kind of nagging me every now and then with questions. And I think the biggest one was I worthy enough to come to know the Lord and come to know Christianity and be a part of such a wonderful group of people? That was the biggest thing for me, is wondering whether or not I was worthy enough to know Him and to be a part of such a wonderful thing. So I found out about Jordan Valley Church from just a simple Google search. A lot of people think that since we joined the church in 2020, that it was the pandemic that brought us to the church, when it was actually the earthquake that happened in Salt Lake City back in March of 2020. It totally freaked my children out. It made them uncomfortable, and I didn't quite know how to comfort them. I didn't quite know how to heal their worries and comfort myself in kind of that PTSD thereafter. So I went to my pediatrician, and I kind of told her about how my children were struggling to sleep at night. And surprisingly enough, she asked me if I was a part of a congregation, if I was a part of a faith. And she told me that, studies have shown that children who grow up in faith handle stress a little bit better, kind of handle those trials and a little bit better. And with the constant nagging internal nagging within myself to find Christianity and faith, I believe that it was my children in that situation that kind of told me, okay, well, it's not about you anymore and your fears, it's about your family now. And you need to stop being so fearful of what the Lord could do for you. And you need to come to know Him. And so that is what pushed us to Jordan Valley Church. And I kind of told myself I would start with one church and research it and see where it goes, and then I'd move on to the next. But I researched Jordan Valley, and I stopped there. It was enough for me to know everybody here and to work with Pastor John, and it's been great ever since. So I have seen God work in my life in the biggest thing being my children. It's such a wonderful thing to see as a mother, to see your child know of their love for Jesus and His love for them, and just to see how confident they are and being part of such a great congregation. That's one of the biggest things for me as a mother. But not only that, for myself, it would have to be my perspective. I know that the Lord gives us trials that lead us to triumphs, and it has been the biggest thing for me to change my perspective on life and how I view life. And so that's one of the biggest things that I could take from it, is just being a mother and seeing how He's working in their life, and then just to be present and have a perspective of what He's doing in mine. So I would tell others who are beginning their faith journey is, don't let 30 years pass for you to come to know the Lord. He is seeking those who aren't perfect. He is seeking those who are anxious and who are weary. He is seeking everyone, and you don't have to be perfect to come to know Him. That's the reason why I come to Him, is because I'm not perfect. I deal with anxiety. I deal with guilt and shame. I deal with sin every single day. And to know that He is working on me and His Holy Spirit's working on me is such a joy. It's so nice to know that I am a work in progress. We all are a work in progress. But I'm His work in progress, and He will not fail me. And because I know that, it's great to move forward in life knowing that He's constantly working on my sinful heart. And it's going to take my whole life for him to finish me. But there is no destination in this. We are all on a journey to know Christ, and we're all in this together.